And now it's time to get Fausto on here. Frank, there is an annual cost. Metastock comes with RMO, and it's included as part of the software. You don't have to pay for it. It's just a system that's included. Thank you for that question. There is an annual cost for Metastock. It's basically the monthly cost with a 10% discount, and they can usually give you some free time with that. So chat online with us, Frank. Thanks for your interest too, by the way. But give us chat online with either. We've got Robert and we've got Edward working today. They'd love to help you kind of figure out exactly what is included and get you signed up. So Scott says, you're doing a great job, Jeff. Well, thank you, Scott. Appreciate your comment. So in any case, all right. Our next presenter is Fausto Puglisi. And Fausto is Fausto's going to give you a completely different presentation. We've all been looking at a lot of charts. Fausto likes to look at a lot of time and cells. He likes to look at level 3 information, and he has very, very interesting way of kind of looking at that level 3 information. I'm going to go ahead and unmute his microphone here, get him to start talking to us. Fausto?
Yeah, can everybody hear me okay? Just want to do a quick audio check.
Yeah, you sound great. No, not at all. Not at all. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Jeff. Good to see you, man. Hey, ready for the Super Bowl?
You know me, I'm totally into those sports things. I isn't the Utah Jazz playing this year?
Well, I just came back from the
No,
2 years I don't go.
Fausto, what do you want to tell everybody to introduce yourself?
What's that?
What do you have to say about yourself?
Oh, I have to say
Yeah.
everybody. I'm glad everyone's still stuck around. I mean, I don't know if I can compete with all these great presenters you had today, but hopefully everyone's still there. Listening in. It's a long day.
It is, and we've still got most of the people here, so they're waiting around for you.
All right, let me do a little quick audio check. Can everyone hear me loud and clear? Let me see the questions. Just want to see if anyone's chatting back and see if I could see some of the questions in here. Can everybody hear okay? I see Xavier to the chat just a second ago. Where am I? Am I up or down? I'm trying to see.
You want to scroll all the way to the bottom.
All the way to the bottom. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Unless you.
I'm just having a tough time seeing people's chat. Last one I saw was one is at 2:58, which looks a little late for me.
Let's see. I just made for the presenter. Juan says okay. Dan says yes. Gloria says she's glad to hear you here. Janet says hello, Fausto. Bruce says yes. Scott says great to see you.
All right.
Chris says go for it. Mike says boo, and Richard said yes. So are you seeing these come in?
Yeah. I'm just gonna broadcast the webcam. Hopefully everybody can see the webcam. Can we see that? Okay.
We can see you. We can see you.
All right. Cool.
Oh, I forgot to tell the most handsome guy on the cruise story.
I guess you're going to tell that, right?
or I could tell the story about being the only presenter that did a presentation 30 minutes before their wife gave birth or something like that.
I was very loyal to you, Metastock guys.
All right. I think I'll just turn the time over to you.
All right. So I'm just having a tough time seeing the chat because I didn't see too many. I don't know if there's something else if it's not turned on, but I'm probably, like I said, if I don't see any chat, I guess you might have to just step in there and say something because questions are not coming. Let me just X out of this one more time. Just want to make sure that I'm seeing these. Here's the questions, and see the attendees.
Yeah, if you pull the thing out that says questions, you can actually pull it out of the container, and then you can expand it, and you should be able to see.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I did. Questions. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's all right. Well, let me just get started. I want to hold everybody up, but I guess I have a little problem just seeing the questions in there. But let me just get started anyway. So anyway, guys, welcome, and hopefully everyone had a great presentation. Let me tell you, great day to be here on a Saturday. You're in the best time of the market. You had some great presenters, and hopefully everybody was able to join and purchase a couple of things and learned a lot. Now, basically, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about how to be a 2-hour trader and how to double your income at your free time. Now, what a better job than that would be, right? Well, when it comes down to trading, ladies and gentlemen, trading is a game. You just got to know how to play the game. I'm going to talk a little bit about the game, how the game works, and I'm specifically a day trader. So I'm going to talk a little about day trading, what day traders look for, and I'm going to teach a couple of strategies and stuff like that. So let me just change the slide here. Hold on. Oops, I'm not sharing my monitor, am I? Hold on one second. Share my screen. Hold on one second. There we go. Perfect. There you go. All right. So there we see my PowerPoint.
I can see it now.
All right.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. It's coming through. Before we were just seeing a big, beautiful Fausto.
You're killing me. Don't embarrass me. Let's just have some fun and try to make some money. So anyway, let me just tell you a little bit about Cybertrain University so you know exactly who we are, what we're doing, why you're listening, why Jeff has me here. And because I think I know Jeff for about, I guess got to be at least about 20 years now, maybe 15, 20 years. And I've done so many events in Metastock, and there's just a great partner. You could see, listen, for anyone to be around, be in business that long, obviously you have a great platform. And that's what's great about us all working together. You always surround great traders, great platforms together. And I know that's one of the biggest problems that people have. They don't realize that when it comes to trading, you got to have the right tools. You got to have the right mentor. Now, just to tell you a little bit about Cybertrain University, I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years, one of the longest running schools in the industry. And I'll tell you, I love what I do. And it's not about just teaching people. It's more about working together like a team, be part of that camaraderie, part of that action, part of that, working together. And I didn't know what that was all about until I was doing it by myself. And, eventually blew up 3 accounts. Well, maybe not 3, 2 accounts. My third was my last straw. But I took a job as a trader when I said, you know what, there's got to be, why is everybody making money? And I can't figure it out. Well, one of the main reasons why is because not having those right tools out there, or not learning from professionals. And let me tell you what you're going to learn. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me do a presentation before, but I'm telling you, when you listen to this over and over again, you kind of realize that you can't do this yourself. You can't work and not have the right tools. You got to surround yourself with good traders. You got to have a good mentor. You got to have good coaches, and you got to have a great platform like the Metastock platform. Now, how I got into the business is that I was a very good trader, but I didn't like splitting the profits after a certain point. So I went on my own, and my mentors taught me, says, Fausto, when you leave all this, all this camaraderie, you're leaving this office, you're 400 traders that you're trading side by side with, it's going to be kind of difficult to do it on your own. And that's how Cybertrain University was born. Now, what I'm here to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I want to teach you guys the strategy of how I trade, what I do, and basically how Wall Street market makers trade. Because how do I know? Because I was one of them. And what I'm looking for is, at the end of this presentation, I'm not giving away a free computer, I'm not giving a free car or anything like that. What I am going to be giving away is an opportunity to come into the original trading room and see what it's all about online, and see people how they trade and make money in today's volatile markets. So I'm going to let you guys can be a part of that. Now, what we're going to learn is I'm going to talk about how we find triple digit gainers in momentum stocks. I'm going to talk about what is level 3. Well, you heard about it. It's like a unicorn. I heard about it, but I never seen one, and not having these crystal balls that people think that they have to learn. What you need to be successful to follow the smart money, and how to use time in sales, because I'm a tape reader. That's what I was taught. I'm going to teach exactly what that is, and and how to utilize it in today's volatile markets. Now, question to everyone, which I know I probably can't see, but that's the only problem. But I don't know what kind of trader everyone is, but I really think everybody should learn a little bit about all the markets. You should learn about futures, forex, options, swing trading, day trading. But unfortunately, day trading got a really bad name back in 2000 because everybody thought everybody was losing money in day trading. And the problem is, a lot of people were not day trading. See, I love day trading because I like to sleep at night. I don't like to worry about, oh, what's the stock doing? What's going on in Congress? Is something happening in China? Next thing you know, I mean, how many times have you made money in a stock and like, oh, you counting all your money, and next thing you know, like you sold it and it's like it's all gone. You're like, what happened? I thought I had a great winner, right? It must have happened all the time. Well, that is what reason why you can't mix and match. Listen, I like swing trading, but you got to learn how to day trading first, because it's what happens over the course of the day trickles down to a swing trade. You want to be a good options trader? You damn well better be a good swing trader, because how do you know what to options trade if you don't know how to swing trade? So where's it all lead to? You got to learn how to day trade first. So I know how to trade all the markets. I do trade all the different types of markets, but when it comes to it, 95% of my trades is day trading. And now, why do a lot of people fail in day trading? Well, it's a couple of things. And, like I said, one of the reasons why is a lot of people just don't know how to stop holding overnights. When you hold a position overnight, you are no longer day trading. You are now officially swing trade. So, the reason why I got a bad name is a lot of people are mixing and matching, and that's not what you want to do. You got to be focused on what's moving, and that's it. Now, what is day trading? Let me just go over a couple of things and explain to you, what is it before we go into the strategy of Cybertrade University. Basically, you're profiting from every day's momentum and volatility. So as the market's moving, you're watching what's going through the big percentage gainers and losers, which you get on your Metastock platform. And you specifically look at the percentage gainers, not the point gainers. And regardless of what the company does, which doesn't even matter, you're just here to make money. That's what it's all about. So that's really what you're doing. You're going through the big percentage gainers and you're finding what's the most active, and you're just focusing on making a day's pay. Once again, and most day traders were looking at just making, 200, 500. The average is about 1,000 a day that most day traders look for. Do you know that if you really do the math, you buy 1,000 shares of a 50-cent stock. I mean, stock moves 50 cents. That's it. 50 little 2 quarters, right? That on 1,000 shares is 500 a day. On the average is $100,000 a year salary. So it adds up pretty quickly, and everybody's always trying to make like the big home runs. But day traders, we only look to hit bunts and base hits. If you hit a home run, you got lucky. We're not in a lucky business. We're on the base hit business, and that's basically what base hits are. Now, how did day traders become very successful? Well, first and foremost, you got to have the right brokerage account. Now, I'm not a brokerage firm. I'm not here selling brokerage services or anything like that. Plus, everyone's from different parts of the world, so everybody's different. But you got to have the right brokerage account. You can't just go out there and just, think you're going to do this with an online broker. Also, you got to have the right trading setup. If everybody here, listen, I have a pretty good Metastock setup. Happy to give it to you. But you got to have the good trading platform. Everybody, one of my biggest frustrations is everybody wants something for free. Everybody wants something cheap. Oh, why should I buy this from him? I get it for free from somebody else. You can't do that. When I started, there was something called Instanet, okay, which is now called the level 3. Back then, I used to pay $2,000 a month, 25 years ago. Level 2, which I assume a lot of you have, cost me $800 a month. You're like, how much money that was 25 years ago? It's a lot of money. So when it comes to trading, you have to look at it where, you got to spend money. But you're not spending $2,800. Now things are very, very inexpensive. And ticket charges have gone down a lot. But you got to have the right brokerage firm, and you got to have the right execution system. Now, another thing that day traders become very successful is that a mistake that people play is they think you got to trade brand name stocks, and that is completely false. You're supposed to trade something that has the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward. You don't need to trade expensive stocks to be a good day trader. What a good day trader is going out there, not buying and selling Ferraris, but selling Hondas, because at the end of the day, you're just trying to make the $500. Big difference. One's very expensive. One's not expensive. Once again, does it matter? This is your job. Another thing that most of us day traders focus on is I do a lot of pre-market trading. And people always ask me, they're like, wait a minute, how do you turn that on? Like I just came back 2 days ago, was down at Trade Station, and I was doing a presentation. They always fly me down there to work on one of their workshops, something similar like this. But these people pay thousands of dollars to be there. And a lot of people didn't even know that they had access to pre-market. And then when I showed them how pre-market worked, they're like, my God, this is so much easier than trading in the market. And I'm not here to talk about pre-market and how it works, but listen, I'm going to invite all of you guys to see me starting on Monday, what pre-market looks like. And because that's where we really kind of focus on. And with that, you'll see things making big percentage gainers and losers, things that are moving, and that's where the market is. But also the big thing you have to focus on is this is not a one-man show. You got to be part of a team, and you got to work with a team. And that's what cyber training is really all about. It's not about just teaching you, but it's also having that trading camaraderie and working with those traders. Now, why do most traders fail when it comes to trading? Well, like I told you, they mix day trading with swing trading and options trading. You cannot do that. It has to be done into design. Okay. You have to read. You have to basically another big mistake. They read too many books. Everybody's got to buy a book. Wiley came up to me, the publisher, and he says, Fausto, could you write a day trading book? They will harass me for 10 years. And I'm like, I don't have time to write a book. But you know what? I did. It's actually how to beat market makers in their own game. So, but the thing is, books are good. Okay. There's nothing wrong with them. But you'll learn more risking on a $50 trade than reading a $50 book. Books don't talk back to you. And plus the market is constantly changing. You gotta put money, you gotta put some skin in the game. And also, it's not about finding the cheap tickets and the cheap brokerage firm. Big mistake. I just want you to understand, brokerage firms are trading against you. You can't trade by yourself, which I just mentioned to you earlier. Okay, and you have to trade with a successful group of traders. Another big thing, I tell you what my big job is, what I teach my students. I teach you how to control losses. I think that's like one of the hardest things to do. People need to learn. Winners, they take care of themselves. It's the losers that you really have to focus on. And by doing that, you have to know how to pick those quick decisions, and you got to just be very, very patient. Listen, I can't teach you how to trade in an hour. I could just just spark your interest. Same thing with a lot of you guys are here. A lot of you here, I know it's a long day, a lot of great content, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to put some work into it. And also, you got to find more than one educator. Everybody's different. You can't just go out there and say, oh, I found a trader. You might need more than one. Actually, a lot of my students have taken courses with 3-4 people, and then, and was so sold on saying like futures, and there's nothing wrong with it, but they thought futures was for them. And then like, you know what? I spent all this money on that, and I finally realized it. I like stock trading better. And that's where that came in. But you got to be very careful. One thing I think we're all could agree upon, all our instructors, is that there is a lot of psychology involved. You got to treat it like a job. You got to have the right platform. You got to do your homework, and you got to learn from your mistakes. Mistakes are good. I know people like mistakes are good. Yeah, that's not that bad. Mistakes are, that's how you learn. You got to fall on your face. If you're worrying about losing money in the stock market, trust me, you're better off closing your account. You have to know what it's like to be into trading, because listen, these stocks can really get you really upset. And like I was just talking to a student yesterday, and took a course with a competitor of mine. I'm not here to bash competitors, but she's been on demo mode for 6 months. I'm like, what? 6 months? I mean, how do you live not making any money for 6 months? What was that? Well, they had all this research. I'm not disciplined enough. Listen, you shouldn't be on demo mode for more than a week, maybe 2 weeks. Demo is only to kind of learn the platform. But you eventually, you don't have to trade a lot of shares. You could trade 100 share lots. And you know what? You got to trade. If you don't trade, you're never going to learn. So now that you know a little bit about what trading is about and the psychology part of it and why people win and succeed and fail, now let me get right into the strategy behind Cyber Trading University. Now, what I was first taught, now this is trading 101, okay? By the way, what you're about to see is going to be a little disturbing. I'll be honest with you. People tell me like, is this legal? I mean, or you could even buy this stuff. Yeah, it's perfectly legal. Okay. There's nothing wrong with what we're teaching you. It's just who really trained you have to always remember. And how do I know this? Because I was one of these guys. And think about this for a second. How valuable is it to know who the dominating brokerage firm you're trading against? Think about that. If I could show you where 70% of the buyers and sellers are, what is that worth to you? Probably worth a fortune. Everything, right? Well, what that is basically following the smart money, knowing how to, and that's one of the big tools. So I'm going to talk about level 3, which is basically just basic trading 101. And then I'll invite all of you guys to come on Monday and you could see it live in the market, because I know we're going to get a couple of people say, oh, I heard about this. What about these fake trades? Listen, whatever you think is fake, we'll get your account. I'll show you one of them. We'll execute your money. You'll let me know how fake it is. Right? So how do we follow such great volatility in the market? How do we follow these dominated market makers? Well, you got to there are 3 different tools that we use to get a quote. It all starts from getting a quote. Okay. Now let's start off with level 1 right there. Where you're looking at level 1, you get a lot of information. It tells you basically, if I ask you where's AMD trading, trading at 21.34. Great. Why is it trading at 21.34? Who's making that quote? And how many buyers are out there? And when will it stop? Level 1 is just the best bid and best offer. It doesn't tell you anything other than what the stock is trading at. Now, there was this thing that came out, level 2, back in the early 90s, and it was pretty powerful back then. But in today's times, if it's so great, why is it free? Because that's all it's good for. It's not really a very, a great tool anymore, because when you look at it, basically all it's telling you is who the buyer is, who the seller is, and their best bid and best offer. It doesn't show you all the orders. It's just showing you one order of that brokerage firm and ECN out there. Now, this is where level 3 came in. I was actually one of the developers for NASDAQ who built level 3, and I don't need to go and talk about the history on it because I know we're short for time. But I'm just going to tell you the value of it. It basically gives you 20 times more data than level 2 does. Let's get something. We all could agree about this. How do stocks go up and down in the market? Supply and demand. That's it. Okay. Think about if you were able to monitor where all the supply is, where all the demand is. Well, you can't see it in level 2. You can't see all. You can see some of it. You can't see all of it. Level 3 is going to give you all the data out there in the market. Now, looking at a level 2 screen, it looks very similar to a level 2 window. It just gives you a lot more, it just gives you a lot more orders, basically. You still see the buyers, you still see the sellers. And if you notice right here on top, I have it aggregated, meaning, these orders could be made up of 20 people or one person. So instead of seeing all like 100 share, 100 share, 100, 100, I just aggregate them all and like bunch them in this guy like the 1,300 shares, 1,500 shares. That can be made up of several different people. Now, how are we going to use this data? How does it work for us? Well, this is where it gets very, very interesting. What we want to focus on is where are the significant buyers and sellers. For example, look at this example right here. Look at this chart. If you look at the right, these are all buyers. Okay. What stands out from all those buyers? Not the 100 share buyer at $3.60, not the 1,300 share buyer at $3.59, but the 199,000 share buyer at $3.58, the 102,000 share buyer at $3.49, the 200,000 share at $3.45, and the 310,000 share buyer at $3.40. So by having that significant amount of buyers, what does that look like? A demand. Now look at the chart. Right there between 340 and 360, stock hit that buyer, and within 10 minutes, it went from $3.60 all the way to $5 a share. Do the math. I'll just use basic math. What's 4 minus 5? Okay. 4 minus 5 is 1. On 1,000 shares, that's $1,000. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but do that every day. It's a nice little job right there. Now, you're probably asking, why did it go up? Well, maybe those buyers out there with the limit order are out there and they decide, you know what? Nobody's selling to me, so let me just go out there and buy it from the sellers. So those are limit orders. So they probably went from a limit to a market. But the bottom line is these are real orders of people that really want to buy the stock. Now, let's look at the ask. What is the ask known for? Known as sellers. So look at the chart here on the right. Here you have the stock goes from $17.80 all the way up to $19. You notice how it started at right in the first 10 minutes? That's pretty much where we make most of our money in trading. But you could see right here how that stock went from all the way to that high right around 19. And you see like in the bottom, the time zone from like 9:30 to 11:30, it never wanted to break $19. You ever go in a position you're like, I don't understand. Who's stopping it from going higher? Well, did you see on the sell side, there was a 93,000 share seller? The 93,000 shares are not everywhere. It's specifically at 19, not 1890, not 1860, not 1884, 1892. It's at $19. How much smarter and better trading decisions if you knew you were in a stock and you had a nice profit and knowing you had to deal with a big seller out there at $19. Meanwhile, you're just trading a couple hundred shares, maybe 1,000. That's 100 times, almost 100 times more than what you have. So somebody's going to have to, that guy's got to has to do two things. He has two options. He could cancel his order or somebody has to buy it from him. If neither one of those things happen, well, look what happened. It went from 19 down to 1820. So that is what we call a supply. Now, let's look at this example right here. Look at this stock right here on this chart. And if you notice, is this stock going up or down? Now, this is not a trick question. Not a trick question, but what do you guys think? Up or down? Look at it. First thing in your mind. And please don't tell me it's not enough data, don't know it. Listen, it's not a trick question. What is the trend of the stock doing right now? All right, so if you said it's going down, you're absolutely right. Now, this is the $1 million question. People always ask, where's it going to go? I mean, eventually it's got to stop. Was it going to zero? It could. A couple of stocks did that in the past. But chances are it's going to stop somewhere. It's going to jump into a bunch of buyers. Well, unfortunately, on a chart, you can't see where the buyers are. You could just tell you what happened in the past, but it's not always indicative of the future. So what do we need? We need to see where the demand is. Now, look over here on the level 3. If you notice here on the buy orders, there is 200 share buyers, 1 share at 1821, 1,000 shares at 1803. You got 129,000 share buyer sitting at $18. You do the math. What do you think is going to happen when this stock gets to 18? Well, remember you said the stock was going down, ARWR. That stock, we saw that big spike on the way down right there. Well, look what just happened. It went from 18 all the way to 21. How did he get to 21? What happened in 18? I don't know. That's a limit order. Maybe the guy decided, let me do a market order and just buy it. He's probably the one that ran the stock up. And if you didn't see that in the future and jumped in knowing he was out there, you could have been a guy that could have made almost $3 on a trade. Look at that. From 9:40 to 10 o'clock in 20 minutes, stock went up $3. If you bought 1,000 shares of that, that's $3,000 in 20 minutes. Where the hell do you make that much money? Oh, did I forget? Trading. That's why you're here. That's why people love this job. But you don't got to be a pig. You don't got to be greedy. If you only got a quarter or 10% or 20% of that move, you still did pretty well with yourself. Now let's look at this stock right here. Where do you think the resistance levels would be in AMAT? Well, where is the resistance? What makes a resistance? Sellers. You look over here on the right, look at those sellers. First thing I look at is not the price. I look at the shares. You got 1,000 shares, 2,000 shares. Oh, what do you know? There's 138,000 share seller at, and by the way, it's sellers. That's more than one person. If you look here on top, it says aggregated by price. That means that could be 20 people, 50 people. I just bunch all the orders right away because what happens will make the depth of these levels a lot thicker, which is kind of hard to see. So I don't care how many orders are out there. I care how many shares are out there. All right. So you got 138,000 shares. What do you think the stock's going to do when it gets close to $40? Well, if you looked at the chart, all indications it shows this stock is going up. There's nothing in this stock. You could put anything, any indicator, anything. This is the prettiest chart that went from 30.10 to $40, and it looks like it's still going. Okay. One problem. You got a guy for 138,000 shares sitting there at $40. Okay. So you could think all you want. You could hope all you want. Because look what just happened. Stock goes from 40 all the way down to 39.50. And you're like, damn it, how did I not know that? Why? Are they watching me? Well, I mean, what is that? Where did that come from? Well, you were just one step ahead of everybody else. Let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when I was shown this, when I first got started, I'm like, how does anyone even compete or even have a chance? That is what we call iceberg orders. And I actually came up with that name, iceberg orders, watching the movie The Titanic. I don't know if you guys are watching the movie Titanic. So funny. Everyone was like coming out of the movie crying. But anyway, what happened to the Titanic? Listen, they didn't have radar back then. Everybody's always looking at what's on top of the water. No one realizes it's not what's on top. It's what the bottom of the water. Look at the size of the iceberg. It's like 100 times bigger on the bottom of the water than top. And if you didn't see that, you would have sunk. And that's what happens in trading. People don't see this stuff. So they just go out there and just take a chance and bam, lose all that, say, well, how did I not see that? So when I was originally shown this on Instanet, I'm like, why is nobody using this technology? Why is nobody using this data? And they're like, you want to know why, Fausto? Because it cost $2,000 a month 25 years ago. Now it's $15. It's like 15. How'd you go from 15 to 2,000? That's just how things turned out. Things just got cheaper, I guess. Hell, how about this? You guys couldn't do this 25 years ago. You had to be licensed, So anyway, it's like, now you can get it for that cost. Why would you not want that? So the thing was, I just learned that I'm like, you know what? I feel bad for all the people out there that want to do this. And they spend so many hours and so much time. And I can't tell you how many people blew up their accounts. Maybe some of you, I don't know. I mean, probably we've been there, done that, right? And I'm like, I just can't believe that. Like, now I know why. I mean, like, because my mentors always taught me, one of my mentors, Frank Ferraro, always told me, he says, Fausto, I'm going to teach you a valuable lesson. When you think you know better than the rest of Wall Street, you're out of business. Okay. And I'm like, why is that? It doesn't matter what Fausto thinks in his head. It matters what these guys are doing. Why are you trying to outsmart them? Just join them. So the next thing I said, which some of you probably going to say, well, why doesn't everybody do it then? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. That means that all 400 or 500 people in this event is going to be a student of mine, which I know is not going to happen. It'd be nice. We'll have to show all of you guys just so you know what side it is. Because, people think like, that you lose money in this, and it's a, and I told you everything. The main reason is that you just got to follow the money. That's all you had to do from the beginning. And everything will just make sense as you go along. So what do other traders do when it comes to trading? Well, listen, as being a day trader, I don't really focus too much on indicators, okay? Because what I do, I'm usually done within 20 minutes. And it's usually it's usually in pre-market. So by the time indicators kick in, they really work pretty good for like swing trading, options trading. But that you can't, it's not really, you don't really need it when it comes to day trading. And that's just me. I mean, listen, there's so many indicators out there and they're great. You got some great presenters here, but as a person, as a day trader, when you're trading when you're making that big spike, just trading a couple of minutes, it's kind of hard, waiting for that indicator kick in. Only for day trading. Another thing, people subscribe to these newsletters. Everybody's trying to find that crystal ball. They buy overpriced software, spending like $10,000. I had one guy said he bought this algorithm for like $10,000. And I'm like, how's that working out for you? Oh, it worked out great for the first week. And after that, I'm still learning it. And I'm like, you're still learning it? So listen, there are good software out there like the Metastock platform, but there are things out there. You don't really have to go crazy and spend all this money. Remember, what you need is you need a mentor. You need a good team. You need good educators. Okay, that's what you really need. Now, one of the questions people always ask me, which I know is coming up, is like, so how do you know these are real orders? I mean, you see these orders out there. How do you know they're not fake orders or somebody's pretending? Well, first of all, like I told you when you first were here, if you think these are fake, Monday morning, when you come in my trading room, I'll find one of those fake orders you say that are fake, and we'll use your account and we'll see if you get executed. And then you tell me how fake that is. Okay. That'd be pretty funny, wouldn't it? Could you imagine getting stuck with 100,000 shares of stock and like, but I thought they were fake. All right, well, listen, they're real. Now, can a guy cancel an order? Of course you could. You guys could cancel an order, but you still got to take it seriously. Still a real order. Now, how do we know those orders were canceled or executed? Well, time and sales answer that question. Now, I'm a tape reader, which means I read the tape, I read the orders out there. And by the way, a chart gets its data from time and sales. So the time and sales is a very important tool. You can use this for swing trading, futures, Forex, and anything. And just tells you where the orders are. Are the transactions going off on the bid or are they going off on the ask? Kind of gives you a sense of direction where the stock's going. Think about it. If you knew a stock was going up and you wanted to buy it, there's only one way to get it: market order. By you buying it at market, you're buying it on the ask. You think the stock's going down, you go market order, you want out, you got to sell it to a buyer. Where's that in the bid? So if you get a lot of reds, that means in theory stock's going down. You get a lot of greens, stock's going up. So like this example right here. Look at this time in sales. Green, 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 green. A lot of greens. The blacks are colors are the trades going in between the bid and ask. So you get a lot of greens. Okay, think about it. If everybody's buying and everybody's executing the sellers, what do you think the stock's going to do? It's going to go higher. Crohn's, this is a great stock. We were trading this for the past 2 weeks. It's a good pot stock. There's a couple of traders out there, saying how much they made on it, plus 52 cents, plus 55 cents, everything there. But look at it. Keeps going up, 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 up. Green, 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 green. I think this thing went up to $21 actually. Here's another example. Red, 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 red. Listen, why would you sell a stock that's going up? You wouldn't. But the trend is your friend. You don't want to buck the trend. Look at red, 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 red. So what do you think the stocks do when you get a lot of reds? Stock's going down. PCG, that stock? That was a pretty fun stock. That was a stock that was getting punished. The insurance company, not the insurance company, I'm sorry, the utility company regarding the fires in California. So it was a great short from 50. It went all the way down to like $7 or something like that. And you could see everyone shorted it. Now, you're probably asking me, but Fausto, yeah, I was watching PCG and it's actually up. I know, but we're not swing trading, we're day trading. If over the course of that day, if you see from 9 o'clock this morning, when we're from 8:10 to 7:60, that's day trading. we're done at 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what happened. It's going to happen 2-3 days from now. I don't care about that. That's not day trading. This is day trading. But listen, we make a lot of money going short. I don't know if you guys short out there, but shorting is awesome. Shorting is a lot of money. Now, the next question people always ask is dark pools. They're like, oh, but I heard about dark pools, and what about that? Listen, Investopedia has is a great website. They had a good explanation, tell you what a dark pool is. Dark pools are not available for the trading public. So why would you go out there and worry about dark pools? Dark pools really not your interest. Listen, you could still see a dark pool, but just tell you what a dark pool is. It's basically a brokerage firm trading, a big order within its own trading house. Like, for example, if you and I work for the same brokerage firm, like Goldman Sachs, you have a client that wants to sell Intel. I have a client wants to buy Intel. They both have a 100,000 share order. We're just going to cross the trade together. That's pretty much what a dark pool is. But it needs to be printed. It needs to be confirmed by the exchange. And that's where you get like this big order right here of like 450,000 shares. So time to time, you'll see it. It will be a big order, and you'll see it might drive the stock down like that. But overall, I mean, listen, I don't sweat over dark pools. Okay, what I do sweat over is the algorithms, all the high frequency trades. That's what you should be focusing on, not this dark pool out there that that you might hear out there. It's the least of your problems. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because some people confuse a dark pool with a high frequency trade, and that's totally not true. Okay, it's totally opposite. And how do I know that? Because I was one of the market makers who did that. I was a market maker. I was a trader. That's what I used to do. I actually helped develop a lot of the ECNs that are out there today. So previous data is not always indicative of the future, okay? And a lot of people always look at what happened in the past, but I don't look. I use the past to have a game plan, but it doesn't. How many times have you seen a stock and thought it was going to hit resistance and it just busts right through resistance levels? So when it comes to trading, you got to learn how to just keep things very, very simple and just focus on a day's pay. Here's an example of a stock. You could see it went from 35 in a matter of 20 minutes goes to 36.20. If you just made $1 on 500 shares, it's $500. It's 120,000 a year. If you only trade 250 shares, look how you make $250. What is the stock name? What does it do? It doesn't matter. You're a trader. Okay? I'll give you an example. In front of my house, they just knocked down a house to build 2 homes. Okay. And the thing is this, I knew the homeowner very closely, and it was so upset. They're like, why would they take down a beautiful house? Well, because the guy who bought the property didn't buy it for himself. He bought them to make money. He wants to build 2 homes, going to make twice as much money. But it was such a nice house. It was so big, and it was beautiful property, had beautiful trees. The guy's not in the business of living there. He's in the business of buying and selling homes. He doesn't care what was in it and what you did to it. And it had a $100,000 kitchen. Okay. So the stock is the same thing. We don't care because it's Apple, but it's Apple. Apple always moves. Got great Apple options. You think I care what Apple does? I would rather buy a $20 stock to make my 500 than try to trade Apple to make 500. It's just not that I can't make money in Apple. It's just like there's just 25,000 stocks out there. I'm just trading off the big percentage gainers and losers, and that we're focusing on. And that's what trading is really all about. So this is what I'm looking to do, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you this stuff live, okay? Because, I think everybody needs to understand, a little bit about all the different markets, futures, Forex, options, and you got to find the good, the bad, and let me tell you, don't take it the wrong way. If you might thought it was bad because the person who trained you, but if you want to see what it's really all about, I tell everybody this, don't look at me. Listen, I'm not a cocky guy. I'm not going to brag. You'll notice in our trading room, like right down here, nobody brags. It's one of the rules. How much money you're up. We only talk about how many points because we want to discourage, the advanced traders with the beginner traders. But don't look at me. Look at the traders. Look what they do. Okay. And see the real truth of what trading's about. And hell, you might like it. It might be easier for you. Now, this is all done online. It's the original trading room that I started 25 years ago. Now you notice everyone's got a trading room right now, which is great. Some of them are my own instructors, believe it or not, which is great. And it's flattering. I'm glad they're out there. It's one of the biggest things we promote. We want you guys to go out there and teach other people because 99% of the people who trade today have absolutely no education. And out of 99% of them, 80% of them lose money. Why would you want to be in that business? Only 1%, they say, in that trade in the market got educated. 1%. Could you imagine going to a hospital and finding out that between all the nurses and doctors, okay, out of 100 of them, only one guy actually went to med school? That's the person, that's the person you want to do brain surgery on your loved ones, the one that never went to med school. Think about it. Would you give your money to someone in finance that never learned finance? Well, what are you doing? You're doing the same exact thing. So don't look at it as a bad thing. Find out the real truth about it, and go out there and learn how to trade the right way. And see like a stock like OCX going up 218%. And look at all these traders. Nick, no job can pay $1,000 8:30 this morning. That's what he made. Tom made $1.25. Mark made in at 370, out at 550. Anita's up 83 cents. Neil's up 61 cents. Stock goes from $2 to $7. By the way, these are not penny stocks. I don't trade penny stocks. These ain't bulletin boards. These are all NASDAQ national stocks. Okay? And you can look at it, and they're all on the MetaStock platform. The question is, how do you know which one's moving? How do you know which one's got the big buyers? How do you know which one's got the good spreads? That's my job. To teach you, and my staff's job. But at the end of the day, they're out there. And, you could start right here at 9:30 when it went from 350 and it went to $6 in about 30 minutes. You're pretty much done for the day. Look at the time slots. Look at these times, 8:44, 9. Look at all these traders. Tom traded at 9:56, 9:58, 9:58. Neil finished at 10:07. You're going to meet these guys, and women too, by the way. So sometimes it's not always making things too involved and too analytical. Or sometimes you just got to keep things a little bit simple. Just don't get confused. Listen, trading is a game. It's a great game. I love this game a lot. And once you learn how to play the game and know how to keep things very simple and know exactly what you need and what you don't need, you're going to realize the potential amount of money you can make in this is ridiculous. I mean, how many of you guys here are fellow traders? You retired. We know Social Security is not paying enough. I know some of us have nice pensions. You can't live on that. You want to build it. There's no business in the world that's going to help you make the income than trading. And it's so much fun. It's so exciting. It really is. It's just great. It's like you're involved with what's going on in the world every day. And it's great for your brain too. Keeps you stimulant, watching what's going on. It's just so much fun. But it's not a full-time job. It's not a full-time job. So what I want all of you guys to see, another big thing I do want to let you know is that Cybertrade University has been endorsed and featured the past 25 years for more brokerage firms and trading platforms than any other school in the industry. Why is that? Let me tell you something. These companies have a lot to lose, okay? There's a lot of scrutiny. They can get in a lot of trouble, big compliance. So if they're out there promoting CTU, then obviously you should go see what it's all about. And it's not about, like I said, this is not just me, ladies and gentlemen. I have a very great staff at CTU. I have great instructors out there. We have a great team. But every one of you have to learn from a mentor. You got to start somewhere. And you'll realize that you can spend more time with your family, do the things you always want to do, but it all starts here, having the right tools and being in the right team. So let me show you how level 3 works. Let me show you how to read the tape. Let me introduce you to people doing what you want to do, and you make a decision from there and see if trading, what trading is all about. Because let me tell you, it's one of the greatest jobs in the world. So this is what I'm offering, because I know I want to kind of cut it off a little sooner so you guys can register. This is what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a lot of money. I need to know if you're a real person. Okay. So I'm asking for $7. And this is what you get for $7. You're going to get 1 week access in my trading room. You're going to have three daily market meetings. You're going to get a morning and afternoon watch list. You're going to get your own personal education advisor. You're going to get a live Q&A. This is all for $7. Now, believe me, I lose money at $7. I live here in New York. Minimum wage is $15 an hour. It costs me more money for you just to talk to somebody on the phone. So why am I doing it for $7? Because if at the end of the week, 20 lucky people here are going to get the opportunity for you to get a coaching class from me, because at that time, I'm going to see if you're really qualified to trade. And then and if you really want to do this, we're going to make a lot of money together. And I don't think you would have a problem paying for education afterwards. But there's no reason to make an investment now until you see if it really does work for other people. So this is what I'm asking for. $7. First 20 people will get a free coaching class. If you're not the 20, I know that we got almost 400 people in this, or more than that. If you're not the lucky 20, I'll still let you talk to an education advisor. But this is the last time we're running this promotion. I think next week we're really changing it up. So this is the last time we're doing this $7 promotion. I don't want to sound like a used car salesman, but we are. And by the way, after $7, if you're not happy at the end of the week, listen, I'll give you your $7 back. I don't need your $7. Okay, I got better things to do than taking $7 and keeping away from people. And it costs me more money if you dispute the charge, believe it or not. But it's only there just to let us know if you're a real person. That's about it. So you got nothing to lose. If you want to learn about level 3, if you want to know how to tape read, if you want to see stocks up 200-300% a day, you want to know what pre-market trading is all about, you want to find out what's a good broker, you want to know how to use the meta stock a lot better and use its tools, take a shot. You got nothing to lose. All right. So with that said, I can't really read the chat, but I do. But you guys have the link right there. Let me just give you, if everybody needs that link, let me bring up a web page.
I can read a couple questions to you, Fausto, if you want me to as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do know how to read. Okay, let's go back up a little bit. We had a question from Hernal that wanted to know: do you conduct the sessions yourself or your instructors?
Wait, I'm sorry. Say it again.
Do you conduct yourself the room or your instructors?
Both. I usually do a lot of the pre-market in the morning, and then my instructors will do in the afternoon. But I'm pretty much there all day. Sometimes I'm not. Listen, I'm doing other things. I don't want to be there all day, but you learn from the other traders. But I have several instructors there that we work with. And then here's the link. Let me just put this in there. I don't know if you guys could see that on our website. You can share that with them. And any other questions?
Yeah. Let's see. How big of an account do you recommend?
What's that?
How big of an account do you recommend?
You see, that's a misconception. People think you need a lot of money to do this. You don't. I mean, that's totally wrong. You don't really need a lot of money. Listen, you see some of the stocks are trading $10, $20, $30, $5. I mean, I don't trade anything under $1, but listen, regardless of what it was, the one I just showed you earlier, it went from 3 to 9. You bought 1,000 shares of that. How much money do you really need? A couple of $1,000 in your account? I mean, I know some people are effective with the $25,000 day trading rule, but that doesn't really apply to everyone. You know what really applies to you? Don't worry about the brokerage account right now. Let's see if trading's for you before it. Instead of worrying about putting money at thousands of dollars in an account, let's worry about $7 first, and then you'll figure it out if it's for you. And believe me, if it's for you and you like it, you'll find the money. That's why I always look at it.
A person by the name of Waiting for Name 2101020 says, "Great webinar."
Oh, well, thank you
I
very
like
much.
how you explained everything and made things simple.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Any other questions?
Let's see. Yes. How much is it after the $7?
After the $7, if you want to do it after 7 days, it's $149 a month. And if you don't want it, just cancel it. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna hold it against you. We're not gonna scam you or anything like that. I'm not really interested. I've been doing this for 25 years. Last thing I think I need people to start writing bad things on the internet or whatever. It's not worth it. But if you like it, you'll keep it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. We'll just cancel it on you. All right.
We've had a couple of questions. I think this is a different person as well. Ed asks, when are you doing live seminars in Chicago?
What, in Chicago?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it was cold.
Yeah, when it
But
gets
I did.
above minus
No, but
40.
I was just actually in Chicago at trade stations. They did a workshop there. I was there. It's, I guess, September. I was just there. Just recently. But I come down there. But don't worry about doing things face to face yet. The online is the most inexpensive, best way to do things before you go out there.
Dean says, great stuff, Fausto. Thanks. Let's see. I think that's primarily how do you expect people with no trading background to figure this if this is right for them? Let's ask Robert.
You know what? You were like a little digitized right there. I kind of
Uh,
lost you.
how do you expect people to figure out if this is right for them?
I'm sorry. Also I'm still having a problem listening to it.
Okay, never
Uh,
mind. Yeah. I think the question is how will people know if this is right for them? Like trading, I think is what he's saying.
that is exactly what my point was when we just finished. The only way you're going to know that is to come into the room and see it yourself. That's how you're going to know. It's not, listen, everybody wants to trade a certain market, doesn't mean you should trade. Okay. Everybody thinks they want to trade options, doesn't mean you should trade options. Everybody wants to trade day trading, they probably shouldn't. So the only way you know is you got to sample a little bit of everybody's, some of the best gurus in the business, and sometimes two or three of them. You don't got to spend a lot of money. Eventually you might, because it's a lot of work to train somebody. It's not like, listen, I got a kid, 18-year-old, going to college, cost me $70,000 a year, and they gave me no guarantee that he's going to be successful, So, but going there for an orientation and being in a room for a week, you'll make that decision, but you got to start from somewhere.
What's
So
the URL? I'll type it in the chat. People are asking for it.
what's that?
What's the link we're sending people to? We have a lot of people asking for it.
What
Oh,
the
okay.
link?
Oh, you had put it in the chat here. Here, let me
Yeah,
copy it out. So
pretty
cybertradinguniversity.com/tape reading.
right. You just
But
copy
let me.
that link right there,
I'll
and
put it back in the chat too.
yeah. Or you just go right in our homepage. You could see it right here, and on top where it says tape reading trial, up here on top, and you click there, and that basically brings you right there too. All right, so I see I got my old friend Ken Calhoun coming along. Looks good. It's great to see him again, and I guess he's going to be picking up right after me.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you a couple of more minutes to do what you want to do. Make sure you register, buy a little bit from everybody, sample a little bit of everything, and then make a choice. But I'm telling you right now, you got to learn before you can earn. Don't go out there and try to think you're going to sit here and, oh, I learned this, I learned that. Now I'm going to go out there and try it. Don't try anything. Okay. What you try, let somebody explain it to you, go through the tape reading programs, sample a couple of the videos or whatever it is. Listen, you can follow me on YouTube and Twitter. You can see some of the things that I've done, the morning briefings and stuff. But everyone should try a little bit of everything. But you need, most importantly, remember, you got to trade with a team. You got to have a good platform, and you gotta have a good mentor. You can't be doing this by yourself. All right, guys. Listen, Jeff, thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your Super Bowl. And I am a Jet fan. I just want everybody to know that. So I'm not a Patriots fan, so don't hold me against me. I'm sick and tired of seeing these Patriots win. I think I said 95% of people want them to lose, but if anyone's going to feel bad, you got to feel bad for a Jet fan. So what it is, but hopefully I win on my boxes. If they win, and last year, if I win my boxes, that's all I'm happy with. But it's going to be a great Super Bowl. I got like 75 people coming to my house. My wife doesn't even know it yet. So I'm going to have some fun. But thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for being here Saturday. And, be safe.
Thank you, Fausto. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. Sharing. Okay. All right. James says, if he's a Jets fan, that means he's also a Yankees fan. Only thing I like about it. Okay. All right. Very good. Well, we really appreciate Fausto coming in and kind of spending a bit of an hour with us. What I would like to do is actually talk a little bit about the Trader's Toolbox. I want to say, since we have just a minute, but it's okay. Ken can go a little bit long. He's one of the last speakers, and I'm the last speaker, and I'm just doing a Q&A at the end. There's a few people I want to thank: Keith, Tadas, Bradley, Faisal, Michael, Abid, Michael, Xavier, Dave, Mitchell, Edward, George, Giuseppe, Tahu, Peter, Julia, Ramo, Charles, Thomas, and Julia and Jacob. I guess I have Julia on there twice. Thanks for your orders today. Welcome to the Metastock family. If there's anything I can do, let me know to help. Really, really do appreciate your kind of joining in and using Metastock. Those are just people that ordered something today. We do have the Trader's Toolbox still available. It features Steve Bigelow's add-on, Vince Vora's Veracity add-on, Jeff Tompkins Trade Trend, the Don Fishback odds compression. You can get all four of those add-ons. Normally it would be $31.63, but we'll throw in that, 2 years of Stocks and Commodities magazine, 3 months access to Metastock Real Time, 3 months access to Refinitiv, the Zenith data service, which is amazing, the Unleash the Power of Metastock course, the Metastock bootcamp that I'll be doing with you on February 13th at 4 Eastern. All of that would normally cost about $4,159. It's all recommended. These are some of the best add-ons we offer. We're going to give it to you at a special price of $1,733 today. So 1-800-882-3040. I know it's been really busy over there today. Thank you again, everybody. You can also visit us online at metastock.com/sales chat, and they can kind of help you get going by chat if you want to. And I do appreciate it. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. You're going to be happy with the tools. There's a reason it's been rated #1 for so long. So, and I am going to throw out a thank you for our sponsor, Stocks and Commodities Magazine. Again, you came today, you understand the importance of education and learning as you go. They've been sponsoring our events ever since the very first one. And if you haven't gotten your free issue, you should, and I'll copy the link in the chat in just a minute or two.